Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Epic Lycoris, finishing Adolphe's route because we just have to do, well, not really, but yes and no. We're going to get the alternate ending for, well, it just says end, it doesn't say it's a bad end, it's just an end, for the salvation after story, in Adolphe's route. So it could be all of 5 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. I don't know. There's only one. And if I think it's only going to be 5 minutes, it'll be like 45 minutes. And if I'm like, it'll be long enough, it'll be over in 2. But then we'll have fun story times and like whatever. But anyway, I should apologize. But I didn't want to say we're finishing Adolphe's route because we're not really, because we have to still do the interlude stuff. But the stuff for now, before we do the Drifter, and then we do Anko, and then we come back and do all the interlude stuff. There you go. I'm the one to apologize. I knew you said that because you're worried about me. I want to respect what feelings you have for me. Okay, so that was literally the only difference. Okay, so now we're all going to go into the underground basement. Everyone's still alive. We're wading through in soggy clothes because we didn't think about wearing like fucking pants or like, I don't know, rain boots or some shit. Like, that's right, Adolphe's kicking ass because there's some schmucks down here. Now we're looking for stuff, and okay, we find that stuff for Nadia from Dahut, and then we give it to her, and they don't bother giving us a new sprite of her. They made a whole new character, but they couldn't give us an... Unless that is Nadia. It's a clone of Nadia and Dahut, and he made a clone, and that new chick is their fake clone daughter. He messed with their genetics and was like, what if? No, she said she wasn't from here, but like, wouldn't that be fucking funny? Well, we know time travel exists in this world. So like, what if like Dahut wasn't really... Did we ever have a body? Did we ever confirm there was a body? We don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be in this, but like maybe in the Anko ending somehow. Like, I'm just saying, we don't know. Anyway, each day I spent with Adolphe, I want you to listen. Spacey, will you Oh, who do we have here? And perhaps you came to offer a prayer to God. Oh, poor Adolphe! This is going to be this whole ending. Frustrating days of love. Oh, this man is getting cock-blocked left and right. Sweetie, that's the story of our lives. Every time we're about to get kissed, somebody walks in the room. Oh, look at him. Our poor thing. I'll say it next time. I come to the Institute now. I want you to stand watch at our meeting. Damn it! Of all times. Hey, Adolphe! You two came for some drinks too. You two came from some drinks too? Is he supposed to be drunk so he's not supposed to be making sense? Because that sentence makes no sense. Hey, Adolphe! You two came from some drinks too? I think it's supposed to be 4, but it sounds like he's... Come on, let's get merry. That's what Adolphe's trying to do, but he's trying to get married, and it's not working. I don't know if that was a typo and you guys came for some drinks and they put from, or if Eve was really just that drunk and he doesn't know words. I'm going to go with he's just that drunk and doesn't know words. Otherwise, you know what, Tim and Ronald? That is the one time that a typo is totally okay, because it adds to the drunken Eve narrative, so I'm okay with it. Those guys in Cohen won't come here for sure. Ah, are you two out on a walk? If you don't mind, please come to my mansion for a meal. He's trying everywhere. Oh my god. No one will bother us here. This is so fucking hilarious. It's our former saint who saved the country! Please offer us your protection! Poor Adolphe! Days went on when he kept trying to tell me something, but he ended up stopping mid-sentence. This country's too cramped. Why is everyone I know around me? Adolphe finally spilled his frustration onto the wall. Or is it that luck isn't on my side? Adolphe, if there's something you need to say, I'm available now. No, at this rate I know someone's bound to pop up anyway. Come now, you can't be... Hey, Adolphe, Spacey! Hope you don't mind me and the kids here. Let's play! I want to play tag! This is probably like, it's not the best end ever, but it's kind of the best end ever. You know what I mean? Like, for Adolphe, this is the worst end because he can't get his words out and he can never ask us to marry him. So we're never going to get there. But it's fucking the best one for me because it's not really the best, but you know what I mean? But it's kind of the best. You're like, this is the best of the not good ends because it's so fucking funny. Oh, God. Oh. His prediction came true. Damn it all. Adolphe quickly raised his head back up and grabbed me by my shoulder. We'll go someplace where we can't be bothered one day. Got it? He said so with intensity and with a strong resolve. Sure, that's okay, but where do you mean by someplace we can't be bothered? There are people all over the place in Arpachel. Leave it to me. I know just the place. Oh, he looks so devious. Adolphe smiled in response, and a few days later, we're going to end up in the fucking ocean, and then we're like, yeah, okay, but we're adrift and we're all going to die here. And he's like, yeah, uh-huh. I never expected you to mean outside of Arpachel. I told you we're on a boat. All I could do was watch my homeland shrink into the horizon. He's going to get annoyed on the ship, too. I'm pretty sure no one we know will ever happen upon us offshore and out in the ocean. Besides, it's pretty nice seeing Arpachel from the ocean, right? I suppose you're right. A short one-week journey. Adolphe led me by my hand so that we could explore the outside world. I was surprised when I first stepped aboard the boat, but this is so exciting everyone's going to be here. I could feel my heart race like a child over the fact that I could see the unknown. Seeing me gaze at the water with curiosity, Spacey... Adolphe knelt down and... I wanted to find time with you because I want you to have this. Huh? Oh my god, do we get a CG of this? Out of his pocket came a small box. It doesn't say we get a CG, and I'm going to be so mad. He lifted the lid, and what appeared was a frog. No. Oh, look, it's a little ring! A beautiful blue ring. How pretty. Oh my god, did you make that out of Unco's jewels? Wait. Was this what Adolphe wanted to talk to me about all along? It wouldn't have been right for me to ask for your hand in marriage in front of the crowd. At least he got to do it! I thought the whole end was going to be him not being able to ask. Seeing me cover my mouth with emotion, Adolphe smiled brightly, and then I accidentally tried to leap for joy and knock the ring into the ocean. Let's get married, Spacey. Once we return to Arpachel, we'll tell Unco and everyone we're going to be husband and wife. His proposal was bold and confident as he expected me to say yes in response. This wasn't like Adolphe at all, but the fact that this was out of his character made it exceptional. Suddenly, a single petal that probably drifted through the air from Arpachel landed on the ring in the box. That's Uncle being like, bitch, do it. Do you know how long I've suffered? If you're gonna marry the weaker Adolphe, fine. Like, because Adolphe is pre-Unco. And Unco's like, whatever. I'm the better one, but... Look, I love Adolphe. But Unco hates Adolphe, you know it. He awaited my response with a smile, and although it felt strange for me to say it, yes, my future husband. Although it felt strange for me to say, I'm like, where are we going? Okay. Yes is not a strange thing to say. I responded with a blooming smile in return. What a relief. I'm ashamed it took so long, but I'm glad I was able to bring it up to you. Come now, you always tell me what you feel straight at me, and I couldn't be happier. You always tell me what you feel straight at me. You don't tell people straight at them, you say it straight to them, but okay. Listen, Timra, I won't forgive that. Come on. I'll forgive Drunken Eve, because that worked. I'm looking forward to being family in a new sense of the word. Yeah, And just you watch. I will make you the happiest bride in the world. Well, like second happiest, because the happiest would be Cyan. I'm sorry. Like, look, I love him the best. And so, through our travels, we saw the world. We expanded our world. We found love in this world. Beyond our short yet precious journey, we went and we went and report. We went and report. We went is past tense, and report is more present tense. So what are you doing in this ending, Tim and Ronald? What the fuck? You're ruining it. It's more like we went to report to the one sleeping in the field of flowers that we finally found happiness. We went to report that we finally found. Yeah, that would make more sense. Not we went and report to. What a way to ruin the ending with the like fucking up the last line like that, though. But like I told you, it was short as fuck. And we didn't even get a CG for that. That was like kind of bullshit. I mean, it was funny, don't get me wrong, it was hilarious. But like at least give us a CG. But, you know, we get this one that we get to stare at. It's really only been not even 12 minutes. Guys, okay. Well, story time, I guess. Do you want to just stare at this and I'll tell you a story for a few minutes and we'll see how long it lasts? Well, first, story time. I'm at the point, though, I swear to God, we're probably going to end up having to go back to every other day. I know, like, the stuff that went up, we'll see how I do. I'm literally, like, 3 days ahead. 3 or 4 at this. Actually, I'm not sure where I am right now. I might be, like, 4 days ahead now. I'm not. Oh, God. It's just, So there's that. So if that happens, again, if you're watching this, binge watching it after everything, it's been up for a while. Like this doesn't, I usually do, like when I talk like this, I'm usually talking to people that kind of like watch it right as it goes up or like within a couple of days or something, like relatively around the time-ish that it goes up. Not like, not you guys who like watch it a year later. That sounds so mean. That's not what I meant. I just mean, like, I understand if you're bulk watching it, you're like, oh, this whole series is done, and like a year later you find it, and then you binge watch it. This doesn't matter to you because they're all done. Like, and I know I could just like not say anything and then do a set, but it's like, my brain doesn't work that way. I talk to you as if you're here right now with me in this very second, and not a week from now or 2 years from now. You know what I mean? Because like. It also astounds me sometimes when all of a sudden people are like commenting on videos that are literally like 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, damn, that's cool. Like, I'm always like, because I don't remember what I say 3 days after I say it. If you know what I mean? So it's so funny when people are like, oh my God, yeah, that's so funny, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, it's been 8 years. I have no idea what the hell I was saying, but okay. Just you'll get to know this if you're new, that like you will comment things and I'll be like, I have no idea what I said because I do not have a filter. Okay, that's I guess the good thing and the bad thing about this channel. I have no filter. Like I'm not like, okay, so we record and I remember everything and I'm very rehearsed. Oh hell no, for God's sakes. So anyway, that's not the story time. I don't know how we even got on that tangent, but that's, again, well, no, it was talking about every other day. Right, okay, I see how we fell into that. Like, cycle, okay. But yeah, so we'll see, but I was like, oh dear God. Oh, it's going to get harder. Either that or, I mean, I think I already mentioned that after one of these games, there might just be like a gap. Actually, and I totally forgot because I was like, we have Winner's Wish to play, and that's it. I don't have anything else that is. But I forgot I have Sympathy Kiss too. Because I have a digital copy of it, so I completely freaking forget that I own it because it's not sitting there in a stack, a hard copy stack. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunately we'll have to see with some of the P-Cube titles coming out. if it's P-Cube that doesn't let you do the recordings, or if it was just the case of the developer for Bustafellows. I'm not really sure. Um, but so there's gonna be, but it's still gonna be, if P-Cube is like cool, it really depends on the company that they're localizing for, because they're doing a bunch of different ones. And I feel like Bustafellows wasn't the only thing that P-Cube did. I feel like they did other games too that we've played, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what they are. Like, I swear they did one a couple of years before Bustafellows, but like, when I tried looking up like P-Cube's localization game, and I'm like, why am I not finding anything aside from Bustafellows? And I'm like, so I don't know. But anyway, story time. So, um, did I tell you in this or the other one the story of, this is what I have to tell you, that I have to go to the very beginning. Okay? We gotta buy time here. We'll flip through some of the CGs as we go through, so you can look at other ones. When I'm pretty sure I told you the story in either this one or the other one. I don't know, but we're gonna go back to it. Okay, so you might have heard this before, but my sister's Barnes and Noble near her is going out of business because the people that own the building are just like, nah, we think we can lease it to somebody else for more. So they're not even giving the Barnes and Noble a chance to like renew the lease. So it really sucks. But anyway, so that Barnes and Noble, everything was on sale. So we went up after Christmas because the kids got gift certificates and everything. And I'm like, I haven't read in years. That was one of my favorite hobbies as a kid. And I have a fuck ton of books. I used to get Owl Crate book subscriptions and everything. I used to do unboxings of them. Those were never very popular. But I also have so many of those books that I've never caught up and finished reading, right? And I also donated a bunch of them at one point because I was like, they're not my thing or whatever. But I was like, it's been forever. Like, I used to do that when I was bored. One year, I remember joining the Goodreads read thing and like putting down all the books and like the reading challenge for the year. But I'm like, it has been years, because I don't look at it like, oh, I stopped reading books. I read these. So it's like visual novels to me, or otome games are visual novels. When people ask, I play visual novel games. I don't say otome games because I want people to judge me. Like, listen, I don't want to explain that shit. I do not want to explain my man harem, okay? Listen. Nobody, I don't need to, no, okay? But especially to other people my age who are going to look at me like, listen, just mind your business, let an old lady do her shit, okay? I'm not that old. Yes, I am. Oh, God. Anyway, not the point. But, like, so to me, like, I do a lot of reading. I read every day for you guys. And this, to me, is a choose-your-own-adventure novel, but with pictures. You know what I mean? It's, like, the best of both worlds. So, like, even if I'm playing an otome game by myself, because I can't, like, I'm still reading. It still counts to me as reading. You know what I mean? So, but it's like I haven't read a book in a while. So when we were there, I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll pick up something. I don't know, wandering around. Of course, they had the Twisted Wonderland novel. And I was like, I just bought that on Amazon. That sucks because I could have gotten it. But we thought everything was on sale, but the books didn't have anything. But they were supposed to be 40% off. The book I ended up getting, my mom bought for me. They did not give her 40% off. And we didn't know until after we left that they were even supposed to be, because my sister and the kids checked out before us and whatever. And they're like, yeah, the books are 40% off. And I'm like, ours didn't bring up 40% off. Like, what the fuck? So that sucks, but I didn't pay for it. Sorry, Mom. Like, everything else was on sale. I got a board game for 50% off. I'm like, my board game almost cost less than my book, which is sad. But anyway, so I was walking around looking at different things, and I'm like, I don't know, like, what am I reading different things, and I was like, I wanted something to jump out at me, And I'm walking through the new releases, and I was like, in my brain, I was like, I love Sherlock Holmes. Because, like, other series that I used to read, I'm like, I would be so far behind. I wouldn't even know what book I was on. There was a series that I know that a couple of years ago I read the one and I really liked. And none of the other ones had come out. But I'm like, but I don't remember what the hell it was called. I'd have to look at my stack of books to figure it out. And then when I got home, I pulled out the book. I'm like, I think this is it. But then I read the synopsis of it. I'm like, see, I don't remember reading it. But yet I did read it. And I'm like, I don't know. It's been so long. You know what I mean? So I was like, I wish I remembered, and the other, like, things that I used to like reading years and years and years before, or like I used to love Dean Koontz. but it seems like all he writes is Odd Thomas novels for a long time, and that was never my favorite. So it was like, I don't know. You know, so I wasn't really thinking of anything, but I was like, but I love Sherlock Holmes. And I was like, but I've read them all and I own them all. And then I was like, okay, well, I mean, I know that there are authors who are authorized by the estate of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle to write Sherlock Holmes novels. There's only certain people that are like, you can write these. You know what I mean? Like, not just anybody can write Sherlock Holmes and publish it. It's like, you know what I mean? Certain people have to be approved and whatever. So I was like, but you know what? Every once in a while they have, the classic, they reintroduce classics with like really cool covers and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe they have a really cool cover or like whatever. Cause I know I've seen people do it. And I have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that Barnes and Noble had released at one point, like years and years ago with a really funky cover that someone turned into a book purse. And I was like, and I've looked and I've seen Sherlock Holmes ones and I want to get one. Even though I mostly use Eda bags, I still want a Sherlock Holmes fucking book purse. Like, they will take the book out of the and I know that that's probably, book people are probably like rolling over in their graves and probably died, and I'm sorry I killed you by saying that, but they take like, but I'm like, but that's still fucking cool to me. I'd be like, send me the pages of the book, but turn the cover into a thing, I actually have, I think, that version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well as in a book purse. But anyway, so I was like, maybe they have a cool cover or something like with all the stories or some of the stories. And I was like, that's cool. So as I'm and I as literally as I thought that, I look over and I see a book in the new releases, and I was like, that is like a fucking Sherlock Holmes cover if I ever fucking saw one. It just screamed, hello, Sherlock Holmes core over here, right? Like, seriously. And I was like, so I like picked it up and I was like, well, that's fucking weird. That my brain was like, I can go check out and see if I can figure out where Sherlock Holmes is in this thing. And like, look, and then I was like, and then I walked past this book that has a very fucking like Sherlock Holmesy kind of cover. Okay. There was something about it, right? I'm like, it looks like fucking Moriarty skulking in the dark. That's what it reminded me of, right? So I pick it up and I'm like, okay, it's the newest book in a fucking series, a mystery series. And I'm like, all right, so I have to look it up. And I don't know if when I looked it up, somebody kind of referred to, and it's the Pendergast series, in case you're wondering, because somebody's going to be like, you didn't bother to tell me. He's an FBI agent. But I swear when I was looking it up, somewhere it was likened to Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? So I was like, all right, let me find the first book. Okay, let me go over. It's written by two different people. So I go and I'm like, oh, they had the first one in paperback. So I was like, cool, I'm going to grab the first one and we'll see what it's about. Right? Dude, the first book is literally like, okay, the only thing I wasn't as much of a fan of when I was reading it is like, what I do like is that the main character, Agent Pendergast, who's the Sherlock Holmes, I don't know if he's supposed to be, but like in my brain, okay? Like, is barely in it. Like, he's there and stuff, but it's about the other characters, which I actually kind of liked. I'm like, it's kind of interesting to have your main character be like a side character to all these other characters. Intriguing. Okay. Right? But he's very much like Louisiana Southern gentleman. I was like, okay, you kind of ruined it with the Southern accent, but I'm like, I still can't not hear a British accent in my head when I'm reading him anyway, so I'm like, I'll just pretend, okay? We'll just pretend, okay? Because, okay, I don't know why, but listen, the deep Southern accent's not sexy to me. I'm sorry. I know, but it's also like, I'm gonna out myself here. A lot of people are like, French is so sexy. I don't think French is sexy either. I don't find anybody speaking in French sexy. I'm like, no thanks. But I think Japanese is sexy. And most people probably are like, what? And don't get it. So different strokes for different folks. That's why there's a bunch of languages you can learn, because one of them's going to appeal to your ears. Japanese is what does it for me, okay? It just took me a long time to figure that out. But anyway, so I'm reading this, and this is literally, I'm like, wait, there's a monster? And I'm like, okay, it's going to be like monster, but it's really not, right? No, totally like sci-fi-ish kind of twist. It's like a monster. And I'm like, and then the newest book, when I read about it, there's time travel. And I'm like, so wait a minute. You are mixing, like, modern FBI man with sci-fi, but then there's a little bit of Sherlock Holmes-ish kind of shit going on in here because, like, that's what I'm going to liken it to. You put some sci-fi into my fucking detective mysteries? How did I not know this series existed? Okay, I'm reading the first book and, like, the very beginning, the prologue kind of stuff to, like, set the stage takes place in the late 80s. And then it goes to modern day. And I'm like, okay, but, like, what is modern day for these books, right? So I look, 1995. And I was like, this series has been going. And then it makes you think as you're reading. And you're like, okay, so the main character, you're right. Was he like 60 in the new ones? You're like, and then when it gets to the time travel, I'm like, okay, there's got to be some kind of explanation of how he, like, doesn't age or something. Because, like, I'm kind of curious how they're going to do this now as the series goes on, right? But I'm like, they've been writing this series for 30 fucking years. And 1995 was 30 years ago. Did I do my math right? That's kind of horrifying. What the actual fuck? What the shitballs? 95 to 2005 to 2015 to 2025. That's 30 years. I have to keep doing the math because I can't process that. Because, like every old person over the age of 30, the 90s was 10 years ago. I don't care if you were born in 95. You're like, yes, no, it was literally last week. You're like, yes, I am only a week old. I literally, like, seriously. Anyway, not the point. But I can't tell you how many times as I'm reading the book, I'm like, why don't you just pick up your phone? Right, you don't have cell phones. Okay, right. Or then, like, you could just take a picture of it with your smartphone that you do not have in this time period. Right, never mind. Oh my God. It could happen like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, just call. Never mind. Nope, don't have a cell phone. Like, you do not have a cell phone. Like, did cell phones exist in Nigeria? They're late 90s, yes, but they weren't even in the book. So, like, it's not even like, okay, you couldn't take a picture and text it to someone because you're like, do I have $37 to send this text? No, because that would have been back in the era when cell phones first came out, where it was like every text cost you 10 cents and you only called people on nights and weekends because that's when it was free. Now it's like, don't call me after 9, motherfucker. Like, don't call me after 5. Don't call me. You know, but, like, you couldn't call until after 9 when it was free. Or then you had the friends and family and the 5 people on your list were okay to call whenever, but everybody else cost. So, like, when you get the, rates may apply, you're like, what the fuck is this antiquated? Nobody charges you for that shit, but they used to. And it's like a fucking Vietnam flashback for old people. Okay, when you get that, like, data messaging rates may apply, and you're like, shut up, don't remind me of the bad days. Or, like, when your phone had a web browser button, even though you didn't have smartphones, and you would push it, and you're like, because it would cost you, like, $700. Yeah. It's only a slight exaggeration. I'm really fucking old. Anyway. But, like, the amount of times I was thinking in them, and I'm like, oh, dear God. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I think I would have caught on as I was reading, and I was like, why don't you just pick up your cell phone and call somebody? Like, I'm running down a corridor and I'm lost and I can't find my way. Like, she's trapped in this one area, and I'm like, why don't you call someone? Like, I think my thought process would have been, why don't you call someone? And then I would have been like, what fucking decade was this book written in? Right. The Dark Ages. So, anyway. Point being, there's 22 books in this series. So I bought the first one and I was almost done with it. I'm like, I'm going to buy more. I bought books 2 through 7 used. I got them all used. Good for me. I think the one I spent like $8 on a paperback, which most paperbacks are like $10 new anyway. So, okay. Good condition, my ass. Somebody had like cut off something on the cover, and I'm like, considering the fact that I've purchased hardcovers for this series for $8. So, like, no, would not do again. Okay. But before I started recording this, see, I've dragged it out to 30 minutes. Aren't you guys happy for me? I had bought those books and I'm getting them in. I haven't even gotten to the second book yet because I was waiting for them. I started reading the Twisted Wonderland novel. So when I'm done with that, I get to pick up book 2. And then I was like, well, I don't want to start book 2 too early because book 3 was still on the way. And then I have book 4 and 5, and I can't go from 2 to 4. I got to wait for 3. So 3 is here now. So I'm like, good, okay. I've got 2 through 6 now. 7's on the way. And literally before I started recording this, I was like, fuck it. And I bought every single other fucking book in the series. I literally just bought 15 motherfucking books. Technically 21 if you count the other ones that I bought earlier. But literally today I bought 15 books. And I'm going to tell you though, I bought them all used. And I went and I'm like, let me look for the ones that say very good. Okay. Most of them were like $6. I got a couple and like, listen, Glenn, the bookseller guy, I don't even care that you're charging me $4 to ship each one of those books and I just paid you $12 in shipping. I don't care because they're hardcover books. And he was selling them mostly for like $2. Yeah. I'm spending $4 shipping, but I'm still got the book for like $6. And other places I'm spending like $6 and it's free shipping. But I'm like, listen, I think the most expensive one I bought was like $8 used for hardcover books. Only one I was like, okay, well, you're charging me like $15 for the hardcovers, you know, the decent quality one. So let me go and see paperback. And I'm like, okay, I'll get the paperback one for that. That's it. That's not true. The brand new one I did buy hardcover, but it was only $15. It was 50% off. The Kindle version is $15. The paperback is $20. How the fuck is a brand new paperback $20 fucking dollars? Amazon, I'm gonna need you to suck my dick. So like, yes, I technically bought them all on Amazon, but I bought them from used booksellers that are selling them on Amazon. I wish there was a used bookstore around here somewhere. I miss the one that I used to go to when I lived near New Hampshire, because there was one and I would always go there. I got several old editions of Sherlock Holmes books from them. And I got a couple that were my dad's. But like I loved going there and like digging through and finding all the Sherlock Holmes books. Even if I already had them, I would buy them all because they'd be like $1. Like, and you walk in there and it just smells like books. So I do miss that, but my choice was try to figure out where the fuck a Barnes & Noble is around me and then maybe buy the paperbacks for $10. Or I could actually get used hardcovers for less. I'm just saying. And honestly, aside from the quote-unquote good paperback, all of them look freaking fairly new. Like, yes, the dust jackets probably have a little bit of like wear. The one I just got that actually was book 3 that came today, right before I started recording, I was like, you're trying to tell me this is a used book? The only thing I realized, I'm like, oh, well, the dust jacket's missing, but okay, fine, whatever. Not a big deal to me. It looks fucking perfect. It doesn't, did anybody read this? Did they just have, like, I understand with paperbacks, it's a little harder because, you know, like, some people, I don't personally care. I don't dog ear my pages anymore. I used to do it when I was younger, and I don't do it anymore. I use like a bookmark, but I don't care if I got a used book and the ears are dog marked. I don't care. I'm like, I don't see if people are writing notes or something. It depends. As long as it's legible to me, I've never seen it flip through. I've never seen, as I flipped through, any of the ones that I've gotten with, and there's any writing or anything in them. But like, I've not even dog-eared pages, but like, hardcovers are always going to look a little nicer used than paperbacks because paperbacks, those spines are going to be broken. They're going to be broken because there is no way to like read a paperback and not crack that spine. I'm sorry. I know there's people that won't do it, but it's like, how the fuck do you read that? Because then it's like, no, I'm just going to crack that spine open. Like, I know that there's people that hate that. And there's probably book people who are like, again, I killed you. I'm sorry. You're dead now. But like, I'll do it. It's my book. I don't plan on getting rid of it. And if I do, like, I donate them when I'm like done. But like, anyway. So yeah, I have technically, 22 new books because I bought one other one. I was watching videos on YouTube. People were like recommending books. And I don't even remember what it was about. I was just like, okay, you were talking about that one and it sounds pretty good. So okay, I'm gonna pick up a copy of it. So I have that one too. And then I have now the 21 other books in the series. So technically I have 22 books now. They're going to be sitting. Most 15 of them are on the way. Technically 16. I'm still missing one from my original shipment. It's on the way. But like, I'm going to have like this giant fucking stack of fucking books. And this should tell you everything you need to know about me in case you didn't know. This is apparently my current obsession. Not that I've never liked, it's not like I'm suddenly into books and I've never been into books. But I used to very much be this person, and then it was like something else, and then it goes something else, and then it goes something else. And now we're back to books. It's been years since I've been like, I'm going to buy every goddamn book, you know? But I did want to start reading more this year. So now that we've wasted 35 minutes, that's my fun story. But it was Kismet that I found this book series, because I'm just saying that cover on the newest book really did just strike Sherlock Holmes vibes for me, and I was just thinking about it, and then and now there's like some sci-fi elements in my fucking thing. And like one of the other books that I just got, I think it's the 6th book or something, like the little flap inside, I'm bringing it up because I took a picture and I posted it on Blue Sky, and I was like, seriously, sell me harder. Like, it says 2 brothers, one a top FBI agent, the other a brilliant, twisted criminal, and an undying hatred between them. I'm sorry, sell me harder. I'm like, if I didn't already like the series from reading the first book, you sold me on literally the cover of the newest book. So yes, I judged a book series by its cover. It worked out. And then you have that blurb. 2 of the dumbest freaking things that just sold me on this, like, okay, yes, give it to me. Take all my money. I literally just bought all of the fucking books. To be fair, aside from shipping, it didn't even cost me $100 to buy 15 fucking books. So I'm just saying, that's a lot of money to throw down on books. But normally, if you went to a bookstore, you're not walking out with 15 books, and hardcovers, no less. You might be able, if they're on sale or whatever, you could probably walk out with like 10 paperbacks, but you're not walking out with 15 hardcovers. Technically, it was 14 hardcovers and 1 paperback, but like, whatever, semantics. Anyway, so there you go. That's my fun story. Did you have fun? Were you like just sitting here like bored out of your mind? I hope not. But anyway, now we've made it like 40 minutes. We can wrap this part up here. We are going to start The Drifter. Yes, Tradition Drifter, whatever that story is. And the Drifter is hot. I know that because they show him in the intro segment. So we'll do his. And yeah. And then, so I don't know how long that's going to be. And then we move on to Anko, and then we do the interlude stuff. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.